Managing change track. Dealing with current challenges requires understanding our stressful emotions and hormones. Be vigilant to burnout signs. Identify our level of readiness to cope with change. Adopt self-affirmation mindset. Spot inner, negative voices and focus on the power of the moment by making smart action plan to manage the change successfully. This track will equip you to adjust your limits to avoid stress levels, cope with change, facing challenges, and overcome feelings of pessimism, helplessness and hopelessness. Managing change track outline. Tool number 1, Personal Change 5 Stages. All change involves loss at some level, and the 5 stages model has been used to understand people's reactions to change for many decades. 5 stages represent the normal range of feelings people experience when dealing with change in their own lives or in the workplace. The 5 stages are pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintaining or decline. Tool number 2, Emotional Dialogue. Dialogue is the creative thinking together that can emerge when genuine empathetic listening, respect for your negative emotions, suspending self-judgment, sincere inquiry, courageous inner speech, and discovering and disclosing assumptions to guide internal conversations. It is an activity of curiosity, cooperation, creativity, discovery, and learning rather than moving away persuasion, competition, fear, and internal conflict. Tool number 3, Self-affirmation. Self-affirmation theory is a psychological theory that focuses on how individuals adapt to information or experiences that endorse and support their self-concept. Self-affirming events include receiving positive feedback from others and reflecting upon positive aspects of oneself and expressing one's core values and endowments. Self-affirmation as a strategy to enhance self-control is that the act of self-affirmation allows people to respond in a manner that counters their automatic response tendency. In other words, self-affirmation counters habits of action, and this is the essence of self-control. Our action is consciously volitional as opposed to habitual. Tool number 4, Self-efficacy continuum. Self-efficacy is an individual's belief in his or her innate ability to achieve goals. Albert Bandura defines it as a personal judgment of how well one can execute courses of action required to deal with prospective situations. Expectations of self-efficacy determine whether an individual will be able to exhibit coping behavior and how long effort will be sustained in the face of obstacles. Individuals who have high self-efficacy will exert sufficient effort that, if well executed, leads to successful outcomes. Tool number 5, Break the negative cycle. If you find yourself in a vicious negative cycle, you need to take steps to reduce it and eventually reverse it to a positive cycle. There are several places to break the cycle, such as artificially boost your own view. Do it differently from what you normally do. Assume they might use wrong stereotypes. Interpret their behavior as a reaction to yours. And correct their opinions about you. To be able to judge other people's behavior, you should be able to keep your composure and don't get affected by other people's lack of A skills. Tool number 6, Values in Action. This is essentially an evaluation filter. The value filter enables us to decide whether the incoming data is good or bad. Our values are the result of our understanding of the world, which is based on the model of the world we create for ourselves. Our model of the world can be different from those of others. This is why we can end up in a conflict while communicating with those with a different worldview and values. Our values identify those character strengths that most motivate, inspire and propel you through life, even if you haven't used them often or even been aware of them until now. Once you complete this track, you will increase ability to cope with stressful situation and change. Increase ability to communicate with negative emotions and overcome stress. Increase ability to better self-esteem, inner peace and higher self-concept. Have a great and happy learning to boost your productivity.